What's going on, guys, and welcome to 100 Days Hardcore Minecraft. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what Hardcore Minecraft is that means if I die, my whole world gets deleted. So I'm going to be trying to survive for 100 days, and at the end of these 100 days, I'm going to beat the Ender Dragon. So I started off day one by immediately punching a tree and collecting as much wood as possible, because you need wood to start your Minecraft world in any world. Also, as you may have noticed, the sound cut out for the first 20 days, but just bear with me, I've got a little music instead. After exploring most of my Minecraft world, I hopped up on these trees to try to get a better vantage point to see where I am. It all just looks like more forest. Perfect. Then I did the second step to every Minecraft survival world. I made a crafting table. And what was the first thing I crafted? Another crafting table. I have no idea why I did this. After crafting the most useful second crafting table in history, I made an axe and immediately started killing the wildlife. After that, I started chopping down some more trees, because you can't have enough wood, and started embarking on another adventure, and killing some more wildlife along the way. A bit of traveling later revealed a village, which was great news, because there's so much loot in a village. You can find all sorts of things, from chests, these villagers you can trade with for emeralds, and a ton of different kind of loot, but this village didn't have much of it besides hay bales, which I was able to use for food. After plundering this village for all the resources I had, I moved on to bigger and better things, like killing their leader. Be really careful when killing these iron golems, because they can easily one-shot you, and they've ended past worlds of mine in this hardcore survival. But as long as you tower up 3 blocks, you can pretty easily just kill these iron golems and take all their iron. Usually they drop 3 to 5. I spent the rest of the day getting raw materials, like upgrading all my tools to stone tools, and I made this little house home with a blast furnace and a smoker. Waking up day 2, I was very ambitious and decided to get a lot of stuff done. First thing I started out by doing was ringing this bell, and I was going to trap all these villagers. But the adventurous side of me got to me, and I started exploring, and I found what you wouldn't believe. After scaring this villager into his house for no reason, I started exploring and found this nether portal. These are very good because they can have gold blocks, sometimes they can have golden apples in the chest. This one didn't, it just had some golden armor, 14 iron nuggets, 2 obsidian, and some flint and steel. Now I couldn't complete this nether portal sadly, because I had some crying obsidian, so I just went to start doing some mining. Almost immediately, it was very good. I found some coal, which I can use to smelt anything I need to, and there was quite a bit, so it also gave me some experience. A little deeper, I found my first iron ore, and even deeper, I found diamonds. Already on day 2. You can see how excited I was. I was so excited, I ran up and instantly smelted the iron I just mined, made an iron pickaxe, and ran down and mined the diamonds. I found 4 in total, which is very good. I actually almost missed this one diamond. Luckily, though, I turned around and saw it. A bit of mining later, and I found 4 more diamonds, which is crazy, because I already started off with 8, so I can make an enchantment table and a diamond pickaxe. Day 3, I chopped some more logs. You can never have enough wood in these survival worlds. You're using wood for everything constantly. Building, crafting, all sorts of things. But I found another village to call home for the night. Day 4, I got up and instantly started locking all the villagers in their homes. They didn't need to move around much anyways. Then I plundered this poor drowned's base. He had some loot, but first I had to kill him. It wasn't very challenging. He just stood there and took it. I'm not sure why, but he didn't even seem to care. I just killed him with an axe. Inside the chest wasn't much. A fishing rod, some coal, and some wheat. I continued exploring through day 4 and found another village, my 3rd one, and this one looked almost good enough to call home. So the first thing I did was plunder them of all of their resources and took everything for myself, establishing myself as the leader of the village. Shortly after, I showed the villagers what happens when you mess with me by killing their leader. I made sure this one was watching, as his leader fell before him. I even picked up his remains and used them as my tools. This village also had a ruined nether portal. It didn't have much in its chest. I didn't even really take anything. Got a shovel, an axe. The rest of the village didn't have much loot, so I just went to bed and waited for day 5. Day 5, I got out of bed and started breeding all the turtles. They'll lay eggs in the sand, and when the babies grow up, they'll drop scute, and I can make a water-breathing helmet out of that, which is pretty cool. Then, I locked all the villagers in their houses and went to sleep. Day 6, I trapped the rest of the villagers in their houses, because they don't deserve to have free space, and if they die, then I can't trade with them. And then I started moving villages. I made this boat with a chest in it, which is pretty new to the update, and this is pretty important later on. You'll see why. But as for now, I was just moving villages, and I had to go back to the other one and get all my stuff. After collecting my items, I decided to start going back home. But I didn't realize that it started to get dark out. And then I had to make the treacherous journey back home in the dark on Halloween. This was kind of scary. At first it wasn't too bad, it was just one zombie with a pumpkin. But after rowing by this island, you could see that it started to be a horde of mobs. I soon got home thereafter and started taking them on. And then it just got worse and worse. I don't know what happened. I couldn't take them all out. There were so many. Look at how many spawned. There's an army of zombies. And there's babies. I don't know what to do. So I just went to sleep on the night of day 6. And woke up day 7, peacefully rested, knowing that all these zombies would burn. Day 7, I woke up and did what any rational person would do and decided I wanted to go to HE double hockey sticks. First, though, I had to check on my little baby turtles, make sure they were doing alright. Of course they were, because I put up these protective barriers to make sure no zombies would crush them. Then I made a diamond pickaxe and prepared to mine some obsidian, after, of course, feeding my pigs. I'm gonna need to get bacon somehow. So then I mined some obsidian and fixed my nether portal. It may have been a little ambitious to go into the nether with almost nothing on, but I decided I had to. I'm a real man. After officially spawning in the nether, I decided, wow, this looks real scary, and I'm gonna die soon, so I should probably just go back home. So that's what I did. After getting back to the overworld, I decided I wanted to go mining, and I found this cool underwater cave, so I put a door down here for some air, and started mining all this nice coal down here. After mining through all the coal, I found a cave. Upon further exploration of the cave, I actually found a spider spawner. You could very easily hear them because they made so much noise. So, before going down in there, I decided to make sure it was safe, and I tried to get down with a little stairway or something, so the spiders couldn't attack me. But then this little guy just had to punch me down the hole, and I didn't know what to do. I was in hardcore, I've never done this before, so I just ran up into this hole, but there were spiders everywhere. I had to take a little break. After my break was done, though, I ran past this guy and just boxed myself into a little corner. I healed up a little bit in the corner and went back to fight the spiders, only to realize they were all stupid and didn't know what to do. All I had to do was put down a torch and they just let me murder them. They just sat there in a corner. I'm not sure why, but in the chest there was a name tag and a golden apple. Not really too much good, but it was enough for me to start. So I kept exploring the caves. And then I went down this little corridor and found a massive open ravine. This is why I like the new cave update. Before going down there, I had to go back to the surface and restock on some supplies. I've made some more pickaxes, some more torches, all the good stuff you need for mining, and decided to do a mining expedition. Placed a water bucket down, and yeeted my way down. Luckily there was nothing much at the bottom of this, just a little spider. Still didn't know what he was doing. And I got to mining instantly. Within about the first 30 seconds, I had already found diamonds. This was going great, it was a great cave, I loved it. Then, believe it or not, about 10 seconds later, more diamonds. They were everywhere in this cave. I love this new Caves and Cliffs update. However, the only problem with this new Caves and Cliffs update is I kept finding one vein of diamond. I don't know if this is normal, but, like, look here. Just one diamond up in the ceiling. I don't know. So, after mining quite a few diamonds, I decided to start crossing this massive lava ravine in the middle of the cave. Again, I'm sorry for no sound, because this is one of the most satisfying things you can do in Minecraft, but here, I'll just make a little noise for you. There, I hope that helps. Anyways, after a while, I decided that instead of mining these diamonds, I was just going to make a trail to the diamonds for when I get a fortune pickaxe eventually, because I definitely have enough of a surplus now that I don't need any more for a bit. So I just started writing in coordinates and leaving little trails to these diamonds. Day 9, I was still down in the caves, just mining to my little heart's content. There's so much mining to do in such little time. Anyways, after a while of mining, I decided to head back up to the surface. Here's my inventory after mining and all the stuff I got, but keep in mind, a lot of the coordinates of rare ores I just wrote down for later when I have a fortune pickaxe. Day 10, I refurbished my farms in favor of carrot farms because they're a lot easier so you can just peck them right out of the ground. I love carrots way more than anything else. And then I went exploring a little bit and killed a lot of animals for food. More of a genocide, really. Threw some eggs at chickens. The rest of day 10, however, I spent exploring the outskirts of my land since I was going to be living in this village. I found this really cool ravine. I decided I should probably explore sometime, and never did. I woke up day 11, and literally the only exciting thing I did all day was I made an enchanting table. That's it. Look, I just made an enchanting table. That's it. Anyways, day 12, I decided I was going to refurbish this big house into my house. So I started by destroying everything in there to give myself a lot of space, and here's what it looked like afterwards. I explored all the way through the rest of the day 12, including jumping around and finding another village. This was pretty crazy, as I've already found 4 now in this world, and this village also didn't have almost anything to offer. It had almost 0 villagers left and no loot to steal, so I just took one of their beds. Day 13, I made the journey all the way back home and had to reorganize all of my loot. I found quite a bit of stuff, and my chest organization isn't the best. And the rest of the day, I just chopped wood. Day 14 was filled with enchanting. I enchanted my diamond pickaxe and only got efficiency 1, but that's alright because I'm going to get a better one later. The rest of day 14 was mining for more materials because I need more coal for my furnaces because I mined so much loot back in the other caves. Day 15, I decided I wanted to mine out almost an entire chunk. I don't know what caused me to do this. I needed a lot of cobblestone because I wanted to make a mob farm, but I just ended up mining this gigantic square. Not much to show. I don't know why I even put this in the video. Day 15. Look at it. Look at me go. Just mining away. Once I was done mining, I also decided it was time to go check on my turtles, and they hatched! Look at the little baby ones! They're so cute! I immediately went and got some seagrass so I could try to make them grow up faster, but I don't think that worked because I kept feeding this one all of my seagrass, and it just ate it all. I don't know how all that seagrass fit in the tiny turtle. Then I went to go get some shears, and I mined a ton more seagrass. I mined so much that there's no way this baby turtle wouldn't grow up instantly. I then went to bed with 2.5 stacks of seagrass. So these little turtles will grow up tomorrow. When I came back the next day, I did find that one was growing up, and the baby turtles were missing. I don't know where they went. I don't see them in the river or anywhere. There was a hole left in the side. I think they died. Oh well. Oh wait, there they are! The scoot! They all escaped and grew up. I didn't know turtles grew that fast, but I found some more scoot in the ocean and collected it all. Sadly, I didn't have enough to make a helmet, but that was alright. I still had 4 scoot. This stuff is really good for a water-breathing helmet. Day 17, I woke up and I ran right over my turtles to see if any more had hatched so I could get a full water-breathing helmet. And luckily, I had 3 more babies sitting in the hole. I was super excited and instantly shoved an entire stack of seagrass down this little turtle's throat, and I don't know how he didn't grow up. What is this guy eating? How is this possible? But whatever. He ate that entire stack of seagrass. And I just waited here for a little bit until he grew up right in front of me, and I got that last scoot. This was huge, which means I had 5 scoot officially, and I could craft this turtle shell helmet, which gives you 10 seconds to water breathing. So I threw out this trash projectile to golden helmet and put on my water breathing one. Day 18, I got to work clearing my land, because I wanted to build a villager breeder. Because when you can trade with these villagers, you can get all sorts of stuff, even up to enchanted tools and armor. So I spent all of day 18 just revamping my land. After sleeping peacefully that night, I woke up on day 19, ready to start the day. I went outside, looked at the beautiful sky, and demolished this farm in front of me. After demolishing the farm, I took all day and all night to build this villager breeder. I stayed up even through the night just building. I wanted this thing to be massive, and I wanted to have hundreds of villagers and a brand new full village after this. Then I was reminded why you don't build at night, because I got a massive creeper hole in my wall and in the floor that I had to patch up. Listen, I know I didn't fill it in fully. If you don't tell, I won't tell. I then finished all the walls and started putting on the roof. This thing was going to be huge, like I said. The rest of the night I patched up the roof, took a lot of materials, this is why I cut down all those trees, but it was definitely worth it in the end. I now had this massive structure, and all I had to do was fill it with beds, villagers, and give them some alone time. Day 20, I decided to go back to the Nether. The Nether is a great place to find gold, and I wanted golden carrots, which is a way better source of food. It's actually the best source of food in the game. So I spent all of day 20 mining in the Nether for that sweet, sweet Nether gold. Look at how much I found. It's crazy. So by the end, I had 4.5 stacks of gold nuggets. Now, I thought this would make me quite a bit of golden carrots, but it only made me 32, so I guess I'll have to go back mining some other time. But right now, 32 golden carrots is quite enough because it's the best food source in the game. Later that day, I went and checked on my turtles, and there was 3 more babies. So I just let these ones out of their cage because I didn't need to shove a ton of food down their throat to make them grow up any faster. And listen, you might be thinking that that was cruel, but I had to see what would happen if I hit one of those with an axe. I didn't die. Day 22, I had filled the villager breeder with beds and some villagers, and I just gave them some potatoes and left them alone. I also built this cool little carpet thing so they couldn't get out, and I went exploring. I'm not really sure what I was looking for at day 22. Maybe my will to live? I don't know, but I explored all the way till day 23 and found this witch, and I found her house too, which I plundered and took everything from. But sadly, witch huts don't really offer much, so I just got a cauldron and a free crafting table. The rest of day 23 was spent just tidying up my village. I got rid of all these random path blocks that were along the side, and I also checked on the villagers, and look, there were babies over there running around. Day 24, I decided to set up my actual enchanting table, so I decided to make a full-on enchanting room and a basement. I mined out a little template for my enchanting table, and then I immediately started decorating. I decided the floor first needed to be made out of obsidian. I thought it looked really cool, and then I decorated the walls with some lava and some smooth stone. This turned out really nicely. I really liked it. I started enchanting a little bit and then realized all of my bookshelves had got set on fire, and I'm not sure how that happened. Apparently this lava was too close to the bookshelves and started a fire, so I had to replace it, sadly. Day 26, I decided I was going to build a big farm so I could actually grow these crops correctly and not have these small ones scattered across the village. So I started getting to work on taking down these old farms and plotting out a place for the new farms. But, knowing me, I got bored very fast and decided to go on another adventure where I found a sunken treasure ship. There wasn't much of anything inside. This was the only chest I could find, with some carrots, some potatoes, and some coal. But other than that, I just swam right back to my boat and continued looking for sunken pirate ships. Day 27, I found another sunken pirate ship, and it didn't have much of anything in it besides some moss blocks, but the other chest had a buried treasure map. So I was able to follow this one all the way to some good loot. After not being able to find this for a while, I tried to use coordinates and everything, but I eventually found it, and it had almost nothing. It had some emeralds, some iron, TNT, and a heart of the sea. Day 28, after traveling all the way home, I did in fact find a wandering trader in my village, and luckily with the emerald I just got from the ship, I found a mangrove propulate, which is the new tree in Minecraft. So after using him for all I needed, I disposed of the wandering trader and his pet llamas because they kept spitting at me. I planted this tree. I didn't really know what it was going to grow into, but, you know, I've got it now. So after that, I continued working on the farm, day 29. Just expanding my land, and this was going to be a massive farm. I kept mining out land all of day 29. I don't think I can stress enough how big I want this farm to be. I want it to take up more than half the village. This is going to be huge. Day 30, I started construction of the farm and just made a little dirt outline of what it was going to be. After I got that all done, I placed the dirt inside and started hoeing all the ground. Now, I didn't realize I thought water could reach 7 blocks, but apparently it can't, so I did have to put in some extra water. But that's alright, because for now, I just hoed all the ground and got ready for planting seeds. Day 30, I went to the Nether in search of glowstone because I thought that would make my farm really nice, and it would also provide light in the night so my crops can grow all the time, even in the night. I placed all this glowstone and I thought it looked really nice. It really adds some nice, good lighting to my farm instead of just some basic torches. Day 31, even in the rain, I kept working on this farm and just added fences along my entire farm. So that way nothing could get in and stomp on them because you know how zombies are. The rest of day 31, I just finished up the little things here and there on my farm, like adding stairs and fence gates. But day 32, I finally got to planting all my crops on the farm. It was a giant farm. I didn't necessarily have enough of every material I needed, but I got most of the farm filled up. I had different sections, one for potatoes, one for carrots, one for wheat, and one for weird stuff like beetroots. I was so excited, I went on a big old murder spree and killed all the iron golems in my village and took their jobs for my own, and went to sleep peacefully. I woke up day 33 and I wanted to make the other kind of farm, a cow farm. So I went in my chests, I got some wheat, and I got some fences, and I decided I wanted to refurbish an old villager house into the farm, because I thought it would be really cool. So I picked this one out here next to the pig farm. And all I did was just chop and chop and chop. Took down the entire house, and pretty much just left the roof and the base. After that was done, I built out the base a little bit and encircled the property and fences. After that, I organized my inventory a little bit, and I got some wheat out, and I was ready to go get some cows and lead them over here. I went up to this big old field that's been behind my house for a while, where I knew cows and sheep spawned. So, I got 4 cows and 2 sheep following me back to the compound. I made it back with 3 cows and 2 sheep, and those are numbers I can live with. So I blocked them in and didn't let them out, and now they're just gonna be meat. Day 34, my mangrove tree grew, and I didn't really know how this thing works, but apparently those are the saplings you get out of it, and I went to chop it all down. The wood looks real weird. Tell me what you guys think of this. But I thought it would be a nice touch to make this sheep farm out of this cool tree. So I spent the rest of day 34 just building the sheep farm. Day 35, I put some cobblestone walls on the outside of the farm because I thought they matched really nicely with this tree that I had put on there, the mangrove planks. I thought it matched pretty well. And then I also put a roof on the sheep farm. I also detailed the floor quite a bit with some of these root blocks because I thought it looked really cool. And then it was time to finally bring the sheep over into their pen. I didn't realize how hard this would be because cows are also attracted to wheat, but you know what? I got 2 sheep and 1 cow out, so looks like I just got some extra steak for myself. Day 36, I went and got some hay bales from my house and decided it would look really cool if I decorated these pens with some hay blocks because, you know, these animals eat hay and whatnot, so I thought it would just be really cool to add some decoration around these animal farms. Also on day 36, I made some barrels for my farm, which I didn't realize how big of a mistake was going to be because the villagers like to use barrels as jobs and they'll become fishermen. So I didn't realize that was going to be a big mistake until later. The rest of day 36 was just spent chopping wood. I made so many oak saplings and planted them so close together that I just had this brick of wood and logs that I needed to chop down. And it took me literally the entirety of the rest of day 36 to chop these down. I also tried to replant most of these saplings as possible because, you know, I always need more wood. But yeah, look, I was even chopping into the night of just this brick of wood. Day 37, I finished up chopping and tried to get rid of all these leaves because if you leave even one little log, all these leaves will stay and it'll be really ugly. With most of these logs, I was going to make a fletching table for my villagers, and you can trade them sticks for emeralds at a pretty decent price. 32 sticks for 1 emerald, but honestly, with the amount of logs I chopped, that was almost nothing. I was able to get a ton of profits with these emeralds and sticks. I ended up getting 38 in total from all those logs I chopped. The morning of day 39, I also took the rest of my logs, and after the villagers were able to reset, I traded the rest of my logs for more emeralds. I made them into sticks, and honestly, with each stack of logs, you can get 8 stacks of sticks, so it's really a good deal. And I just kept trading with these villagers. They had a little discount since I traded so much for only 31 sticks now, which isn't much, but it was something. I now have over a stack of emeralds. I spent the rest of day 39 walking through the nether trying to find bone blocks. Now each of these can be turned into 9 bone meal each, and since I just built this massive farm, this will be able to help a lot, because I will get so much bone meal, I can grow my crops really fast with this stuff. Day 40, I immediately ran out to my crops and started bone mealing them. I only bone mealed them partially because I just wanted my farm to get a nice jump start on growing so I could start collecting it faster. That's why I didn't bone meal the crops fully. Just wanted a nice little jump start on mainly my wheat so I could feed my cows and sheep. The rest of day 40 was spent mainly cleaning up the village because I thought all these trees and stuff in the way made it look not very nice, so I did want to clean up the village quite a bit. Day 41, I realized that my sheep needed grass to grow their wool back, so if I was going to shear them, they had to be able to eat grass. So I made a little extension onto the farm into this little grass pasture and opened them up to it. They didn't really seem to want it at first, but trust me, they spend most of their time in this little grass field I gave them. The pigs were also getting overcrowded, so I took down their little wall and expanded their territory and gave them some water too. There was a little overpopulation problem with the pigs because I almost never kill them for food because I might as well just kill cows because they give me steak and leather, but I guess I'll just keep these pigs here in a little cage. Probably won't make any more. However, on day 42, I got the emeralds I traded with the sticks earlier and went to trade with librarians because I wanted enchanting books and I wanted Fortune 3. This villager had Fortune 2, so I decided I'd buy 2 books from him and I could combine them for Fortune 3 on a pickaxe. This was probably a dumb decision because I should have just enchanted my pickaxe first to see what I would have gotten. You'll see why here in a bit. I also got another librarian to sell me a book of Looting 3, which is going to be very, very good because eventually I can get trades from my cow's leather and all this good stuff. If I have Looting 3, it'll make it a lot easier. I didn't have enough emeralds now, so I just gave the villagers a little bit of carrots so they could fill up the rest of this villager farm, and then I could go on to buy some more books later. Oh, you really like those carrots. Maybe I shouldn't be watching. Day 43, I needed more experience, so I decided I would go to this spider spawner I found earlier and mine away and try to make my own spider spawner. I tried multiple different ways of mining. It was pretty slow, so I tried using some TNT, and it was awesome. It worked very well. I just kept blowing up the area. I'm not sure how that happened, but here we go. Now, I only had 2 pieces of TNT, so it wasn't very effective, but it did mine out quite a bit for me. I finished mining on day 44 and got the main outskirts or the blueprints of the spider spawner ready for action. So soon I should be able to just make it dark and the spiders will flow right to me to a nice little kill station, and it'll be very easy to get rid of all these spiders. The rest of day 44 was spent excavating so I could fully complete my spider spawner and have a fully working, complete spider spawner by the end of this. Now, I tried a few different ways, but the spiders started crawling up, and I probably should have just looked up a tutorial online because I had no clue what I was doing. But I did make a little wall here so the spiders wouldn't be able to swim up and they'd get stuck under this little ledge here. And I found out the spider jockeys can also spawn from the spawner. This seemed to work pretty well, however, I did get trapped in the spider spawner. They just kept spawning. I didn't know what to do. I was really scared. I had to fight for my life and kill all these spiders. Luckily, I was wearing some good armor and had this axe handy because there were so many spiders and I didn't block off the entrance. So after killing all those spiders, I immediately blocked off the entrance. Then I realized they could still drop on top of me. Luckily, though, I survived that. It wasn't too close, but it was definitely a scare. And I blocked off the rest of where the spiders could fit through. Day 46, I decided to install some redstone lamps, so that way mobs wouldn't spawn in here while I was gone, and when I came back I could just turn these lights off with a flick of a lever, but I didn't know how to do redstone, and I tried multiple different ways. For some reason, they'd light up when I broke this piece of redstone. I didn't think it would be that difficult to really light up these lights, but all I had to do was mine back and then go straight into the lights, and this one little piece of redstone lit up both, so I was happy. Also, as you probably noticed, the elephant in the room, there is 6 diamonds that I could see sitting right there, but I didn't mine them yet because I wanted to wait for a fortune pickaxe. So I just left them on the ground for now and tested out my new spider spawner, which worked really well with the lip because they couldn't crawl up the side of the building at all, and they just got stuck in the ceiling. So then, at the end of day 46, I locked myself in a cage until day 47 so I could let my spider spawner keep spawning spiders. I mined out day 47, waiting for a ton of spiders to be sitting there, but there weren't that many, and I don't know why. Maybe the spider spawner wasn't active from how far away I was. I don't know, but there was still quite a few spiders for me to kill. Not a whole lot of experience, but I definitely gained some. The rest of day 47 was spent breeding my cows and sheep, which were getting to be quite numerous. That means it's close to steaks for dinner every night. I was really excited with how these cows were turning out. There were so many cows they would even push me around and I could barely get out of my cage. Day 48, I made a diamond pickaxe and filled my bookshelves back in and was ready to enchant my pickaxe with a level 30 enchantment. Now, I really needed Fortune and Silk Touch on a pickaxe because those are 2 of the best upgrades you can get. So I put down all my bookshelves, got a level 30 enchantment, put some lapis in the table, and got Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, and Silk Touch. This was great news, but also it meant I couldn't put Fortune on it, so I had to get another pickaxe and go downstairs and enchant it. This one turned out somehow even better. Fortune 3 on the first pickaxe I got, with Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. It was crazy, so I went down to the mines and started mining all the diamonds that I hadn't mined before. There was way more than 6 in this little tunnel. There turned out to be, in total, with my Fortune, 22 diamonds, which is crazy. That's why you always need Fortune in pickaxes. I was so excited, I instantly dived right into the mines and went to go mine all the marked diamonds that I had set out before. I got so many materials from this. It was crazy. So I just kept mining all of day 49. And I also found this cool amethyst geode thing. I don't really know what it is, but hey. And then I also found an entire raw block of iron. I didn't know that was possible, but I did find it, and that turns into 9 raw iron, which is pretty crazy. I did not know you could find those. Day 50, I went up to the surface and was really excited to make my first diamond armor, which is incredibly good armor, so I made a chestplate and leggings and enchanted them both with level 30 enchantments. They weren't super good, fire protection, but at least I got Unbreaking 3 on both pieces. Day 51, I decided to go strip mining, and I wanted to find as many materials with the Silk Touch and Fortune 3 pickaxe as possible. So, all I did was mine for 3 days straight. And I found a ton of stuff, as you can see here. So many diamonds, a lot of iron, redstone, all the good stuff. I ended up with almost a stack of diamonds, and I went back to the surface to make a helmet and boots and enchanted them with also level 30 enchantments. With the rest of my diamonds I mined with my Silk Touch pickaxe, I took them back up to the surface and towered up with all of my diamonds so I could get a nice view of my land. I felt awesome standing on just a ton of diamonds, being able to look at all my land, and I mined them all with a Fortune 3 pickaxe and got so many by the end of it. I literally had over a stack of diamonds. Day 56, with all of my new riches, I decided to make some diamond boots as well and enchant those with a level 30 enchantment. This was probably the best enchantment I got. It was Protection 4 and Breaking 3. It was crazy good, and it completed my set of armor. So I finally had a full enchanted set of diamond armor that for some reason I kept in the chest. Day 57, I was in a nether fortress with my diamond armor on to kill some blaze because I needed potions. Because I saw that if you made splash potions of water, you could splash them at the ground and put yourself out in the nether, which I later found out didn't work. So I made this treacherous journey for almost no reason, but I still did get some blaze rods to make different potions. It took me a while, but I finally killed all the blaze rods, but with my looting sword it wasn't super hard, and I ended up with 13 blaze rods, so I was able to get right back home. Day 58, I was still in the nether fortress, and I found some nether wart. So I decided to take all this home, because this is very good for potion making. You very much need nether wart. So I took some of that. However, as you may still notice, I'm in the Nether on day 59, and I could not find my way out for the life of me. I was just running around, jumping around, had no clue where I was. I found these piglin. I found this strider with a little baby strider on top, so obviously I had to dispatch of his child and take over and force him to carry me across the lava. He didn't want to at first, but he came after he realized I had food, which was apparently more important than me killing his child. But anyways, I threw his dead relative in the lava in front of him and rode him home. Day 60, I was still in the Nether. I couldn't find my way out. But I did find this bridge I built a while ago that was being guarded by some hoglins, so I didn't really want to go on it. But, yeah, I have no clue where I am. Day 61, I was back. I found my villagers. They were still alright, and I was able to get back home finally. Day 61, I went back through the portal and went home and decided I wanted to re-enchant my diamond leggings because they were terrible, and luckily I got Unbreaking 3 and Protection 4, which is a crazy good enchantment again, so I got very lucky. But I wasn't able to re-enchant any of my other pieces because I only had 28 levels. So day 62, I decided I knew a great way to get more levels. I bred all of my cows, and there were so many. Look at how many there were. I was able to feed them almost an entire stack of wheat, which was pretty crazy. And then I decided I needed more levels. So it was a pretty hard decision, but I went back out there with my Looting 3 sword and just, well, the cows mark this day on their calendar. We'll say that. There was just a great genocide. I murdered so many cows today. I probably didn't need to murder this many, but I don't know. Something was in my head, and I just kept swinging the sword. Ah. Day 63, I decided I wanted to clean up my land. So I removed all of this netherrack from this ruined nether portal around my building, which was terrible because it had pillars and stuff all into the dirt, different depths, different things. So I had to excavate a ton of land to slowly mine out all of these magma blocks and netherite. Like, look how deep that one was. It was really weird structure to do, and I tried to do it at night too, which was a bad idea. But eventually I just kept mining it all, and some of them I just left in there and decided, hey, I'll cover them up, no one will know, besides you guys, so just make sure not to tell anybody. At the end of day 64, I had the nether portal mostly complete and looking fresh. I got all the netherrack out of the ground and got a solid dirt base, but I also decided I wanted it to look better. So on day 65, I grabbed a lot of stone and decided to detail my nether portal. I put a lot of stone bricks around it and just made it look really, really nice. Here's what it looked like after I was done. I thought it looked pretty nice. It wasn't too much, but it definitely looked a lot better than netherrack all over the village. I was so excited to finish that on day 66, I just stood there in awe all day, standing in this exact spot. I don't know why. But day 67, I decided to refurbish some villager houses. I wanted them to look nice, just like that. I kind of gave up a little bit. I think that looks good enough. Hey, villager house, look at it go. Look, I never said I was a professional builder, but hey, this is what we're getting. This is what the villagers got. I don't really care about them, so I gave them some paths and just wanted to make this village look about as neat as possible. So at the end, I got all the pathways done on day 67 and just started to make a few new buildings and paths around the village. I worked tirelessly all through the night on day 67 and just made pathways, and pretty much that's it. Just made some pathways. However, day 68 was spent constructing new village houses. Now, I wanted to make a new cool design out of some deep slate cobblestone. I thought it would look really cool, and whatever villager was going to be in this house, they would be really cool, and I thought the design was going to be great. Look at me. I really thought this was going to look good. I started getting done, realizing my mistake, and then I started putting the finishing touches on the roof, and I finally was done. I was super excited to see the final product, and oh my gosh, what have I done? Guys, I might need to end the series here. I don't know what happened, so I left it. I wasn't going to fix it. On day 69, though, I let the villagers out and into their own houses, so they finally didn't have to spend all their days cooped up in this little villager breeder. I put beds out here to lure them all out, and they all chose a separate house to live in. I put beds in all of the village houses, so each villager could have a different house. Day 70, I started construction on the center of the village, which is going to be full of different jobs that all of the villagers could have. I thought it would be really cool to just have an open design with just a few walls and a lot of like anvils and crafting tables, all sorts of stuff to get these villagers different jobs. Here's what it looked like about the end of day 70, but I just didn't have jobs. So I started to put some blast furnaces, some grindstones, and some composters in there just to start out. Day 71, there were some villagers being naughty outside. They must have really liked their new houses, but I let them be. The rest of day 71 was spent completing this villager job house, the center of the village. It had to look good since it was the center of the village, and I thought it looked pretty nice with some fences around the edges, and it was really nice to see the children finally running around the village. So that means the villagers really took well to this new village, and were already making babies. I thought this fence design looked pretty cool, but I had to redo the roof a little bit so the fences didn't look a little all wonky and just floating in midair. Day 72, I decided I needed to put a wall around my entire village so the villagers wouldn't get infected by a ton of zombies at night, since they were now able to free roam around the village. Plus, I didn't want them escaping because they're my villagers and they will work for me. The rest of day 72 was spent just building a wall. I had to make sure that this was foolproof and that no zombies or any hostile mobs could get in this village because I really didn't want my whole village turning to zombies overnight. Day 73, I was back in the Nether and I thought I lost the adult villager that had been roaming around, but really I just found him out in the outskirts of this little hut thing, so I had to close it off because I don't want them running around and escaping, because the Nether is a very dangerous place and I want to have these two have a very happy life. I guess I should specify as happy as it can be in the Nether, because I'm not bringing them back to the overworld no matter how many times they ask. So I'm gonna refill all the holes in the ground and make it not a craterous mess and have them die. I also blocked off the Nether portal so no more villagers would get in there because they kept sneaking in. So I just made this little one block thing so I could jump in and out easily, but no one else could get in and no more iron golems are going to be in there. Day 74 though, however, I was back in the Nether trading with piglins, hoping to get some ender pearls because I am going to eventually need ender pearls. It's getting pretty close to that time. Day 74. I am going to need some. However, they didn't want to give me many. I gave them almost a stack of gold. I had like 5 ender pearls at the end. So day 75, I got back to wall making. I had to cover my entire compound with walls if I wanted it to be effective and have zombies not purge all of my villagers, because that would be very bad. It took me quite a while. I had to use a ton of stone, and I didn't even finish day 75. But I did get quite a lot of the wall done. I just had one more line on the back here to refill. But day 76, I needed more gold, so to show you the power of this fortune pickaxe again, I pillared all the way up with my gold, and I was able to look at all my compound again. I could see all the areas I wanted to fill in. I have so many more ideas for this village. I especially wanted to punch out all those trees and make that wall just do a straight 90 degrees, and I could put a ton of stuff there too. Day 77, I wanted to make, the reason I needed all that gold is because I wanted to make some zombie villagers and have villagers that could give me great trades for a lot of emeralds, and I could get enchanted diamond armor from them, I could get enchanted diamond tools, I could eventually get a ton of cool stuff, I could get librarians, but I need these emeralds. So I had to set up a villager infector, where I took some villagers into this hole so they could get infected by zombies. And then I'd cure them, and they'd give me really, really cheap trades for a lot of emeralds. So I sent these two on their way. They didn't know where they were going. They thought they had a nice vacation, but really, they're about to get infected. I waited till the night of day 78, and I led some zombies down into the chamber. Now, I didn't really know how this was going to work. I've never done this before. I probably should have looked up a YouTube video. But I eventually got the zombie down in here and locked him in with these villagers. And hoped he could just infect them. But they kept running around, so I put them in minecarts, and the zombie was able to infect them. And then I just healed them while they were still in minecarts. And wow, I turned that sound down for you guys. But holy crap, that was a loud noise. I thought I just blasted out my eardrums with those guys. But once they were healed, I was able to sell 1 leather to this guy for an emerald, which is a crazy deal because I have all of those cows with a looting 3 sword, and I'm able to get almost infinite leather. And this guy, I was able to sell sheep wool for 12 sheep wool per emerald now, but I'm hoping to reinfect him and then cure him again, and I'll be able to get really cheap trades. But day 80, I made a villager trading hall. So this is where I'm going to store all my villagers so I can have a nice, easy way to just trade with all of them. I thought to make it out of deep slate, cobbled deep slate, because apparently I didn't learn my lesson the first time, and it kind of looks bad, but I thought these lanterns kind of brought it back. The lanterns and the wood with the fences made it look pretty good. And don't pay attention to the windows. I didn't notice for the longest time that they were uneven. And they're going to stay like that the rest of the series because I did not know about them. So, there you are. This is my villager trading hall. However, on day 81, I made a crossbow. I tried to put piercing on it with multi-shot. I guess you can't have it at the same time. But I did make this multi-shot crossbow with Quick Charge 3 because I wanted to make one of the best weapons in Minecraft. A firework launcher. Now this is very hard to get. It takes a lot of materials to get all these fireworks. But on day 81, I did end up making one because all of these villagers in my house were really annoying me because they all wanted jobs. Go get jobs somewhere else. I set up a center for them, and here we go. I'm going to test out my new weapon. Bam! Look at that. It just does so much damage. Even with me in full diamond armor that has protection on it, it hurt me quite a bit. Took out 4 hearts. But a lot of villagers died too. It affected my trades, but that's alright. Now there's less villagers in my house to worry about. And then I accidentally killed some more of them. Whoops. Yeah, these villagers really hated me. Look at this guy's trades. 21 emeralds for 2 redstone, up from 1 emerald. Day 85, however, yes, I'm jumping to day 85 because I lost a ton of footage because I guess my storage was full. However, all I was doing was just like gathering materials because I wanted to build a mob farm, which took quite a while, but honestly, I don't know how worth it was. I tried to follow this YouTube tutorial, but I think I may have done something wrong because on day 86, when I was all done and everything, it barely worked. I ended up getting like a mob a minute, so I decided I wanted to take my anger out on this Enderman by shooting with my crossbow. And apparently they dodged those, so I decided I wanted to be cool, and I water bucket clutched down onto the Enderman. It was pretty cool. I don't really do this much, just a survival player, so I thought it was alright. Day 86, though, I did end up killing some mobs and waiting here for a while to try to get some experience, and it just didn't work out. I figured staying the night and killing mobs at night was better, but I did kill mobs all during the day and all during the night. So on day 87, I enchanted a new diamond sword. Now all I wanted to do was combine it with my other one, but I got these crazy enchantments. Smite's not super good, but I still got looting 3 and unbreaking 3. But all I needed this for was to repair my other sword and have unbreaking 3. And luckily, now I had a pretty close to maxed out diamond sword. I still needed some other stuff, but it was a really, really good sword. The rest of day 87 I spent trading with these villagers because I was able to get so many emeralds, and I was breeding them down here so that way I could infect more and get a ton of leather workers and trade all of my leather and sheep wool to them. This was able to get me so many emeralds, and I was really excited because I could finally get enchanted tools in the near future from these villagers. And I ended up sending the first guy up into the villager house, and I gave him his own little like cubicle so he was able to just sit there. He had a workstation in front so he could replenish himself, and I could just trade with him really easily, but mobs still couldn't get to him. I spent day 89 pushing all these villagers into their very own minecarts so I could finally get them ready to get infected because they were all leather workers that would trade me the right thing. So once I finally got them all into their minecart, which was very, very difficult because none of them wanted to go in there. I spent all of day 89 just trying to get these guys to go into minecart, but I don't know why, they just would not go into them. So it was a very hard, grueling process. They kept hiding in this little room I made to get them to breed, but eventually I did get them all in and got 2 zombies down trapped in the room. Now I didn't realize though, I had so many villagers that iron golems would spawn. Now they didn't spawn yet, but eventually they did spawn. This guy tried to escape, but I trapped him anyways. Took me a while. Come on, minecart. Oh, wrong way. Come on, minecart. Why are they doing this? Just get in the minecart, sir. Why? No, just get in the minecart, please. Yes, finally. He's in there. Oh, man. After that, day 90, I was able to find out that iron golems were spawning in here, and they didn't like me. So I had to iron golem proof the room, and they were still spawning on these stairs. But I did eventually get rid of them. Zombies were down there and transforming all these guys into zombie villagers. So I'm going to get crazy trades. Day 91, however, I decided it was close enough, and I had to go to the end. Now, I went there on a trip in the 90s, and then came back, and then went back there because I didn't have enough eyes. But I lost the first trip, so we're just going to go there and pretend like I'm going there for the first time. Day 92, I threw my first eye and it broke. Off to a great start, but I did get a saddle so I could find a horse and ride him around. Day 93, I found some nice birch forest, and I stumbled across some dark oak forest. Day 94, I was boating. I had to boat quite a ways. I didn't want to throw many eyes, but I did already know where it was. Day 96, however, I did find a woodland mansion, which I didn't find on my first trip. So I decided I should explore it, and maybe I could get a totem of undying, and it would help me during my Ender Dragon fight a lot. But I didn't realize how hard these evokers were, and they kept spawning these tiny people. I killed them, got a totem of undying, and ran away. But these little Vexes chased me the whole way. They were super hard to kill, and they almost killed me twice. Look at how many just flew out of the building. Run! Run! I didn't know what to do, so I just ran away. I got one totem that was good enough for me. But let me know if you want me to explore this on 200 days of hardcore Minecraft. If I do that. Anyways, day 97, I was back to boating at night. Day 98, I found a village, which I also didn't find the first time. I'm not sure how I'm finding all these new things. But I just kept going. I just spent the night, didn't even take anything from the village. I was focused on beating the Ender Dragon. So most of day 98 was spent crossing an ocean. But I found a jungle biome, which meant I was getting close because the stronghold was in a jungle biome. But I underestimated how big this jungle biome was. It was absolutely massive. I found this parrot that I really wanted, and he took all these seeds to get. Sadly, he still didn't want to be my pet, even after giving him a ton of seeds. Whatever, though. Even though that's my favorite kind of parrot. I was very sad. Day 99, however, I did have some parrots, and I found the stronghold room. Then, the worst thing that could possibly happen happened. I hit this creeper back, and he blew up both my parrots. They both died in front of me. But I'm going to kill the Ender Dragon and get my revenge, even though he's not a creeper, but it still counts. I had my worst parrot left. He sat on my shoulder. I didn't even want him. But day 99, I lit the portal. Well, that was a scary sound, and I ran back to the surface because I was too sad about my parrots dying, and I had to get more. And it was still day 99, and I wanted to wait till day 100. So I got some more parrots, which I thought would be really nice because that made me a lot happier. I got my two favorite kinds, the green one and the blue one, and I ran back down there for day 100. Finally, I jumped through the portal. 100 days of hardcore Minecraft leading to this moment. And I almost fell through. I thought I died. I thought I glitched and fell right into the void. But luckily, I was just lagging a little bit, and I spawned back on this obsidian pad. So, now it's time for the dragon fight. I sprinted heroically onto the island and was ready to fight this flying beast. I climbed up there. I saw that I still had my Protection 4 diamond armor on, which makes me feel a lot better about this fight. And I brought slow falling potions that you can make with phantom membranes, which are very, very crucial to this fight, because if you don't have them, then when the Ender Dragon knocks you up, if you can't water bucket clutch, you die. And I'm not taking that chance in hardcore Minecraft. However, it's finally time I kill him, so I took my crossbow, drank my slow fall potions, and had to shoot down all of these end crystals. So here I am shooting down all these towers. It took a while and quite a few arrows. So make sure to bring a ton of arrows, because this actually did take me quite a bit to shoot down all of these towers. But then I also brought some empty bottles so I could get some dragon's breath, because I guess you can make something with that. I actually don't know what it's for, but I did know it was a thing, so I did make sure to bring some empty bottles. Then I found out that you can destroy these crystals under the cage and shoot up through it, which is very good, which meant there was less towers I had to climb. However, some of the towers I did have to climb, and I wasn't really sure how to break the crystals once I was up here, so I just backed up and shot it with my crossbow. Then, with my slow falling potion, it was like I could fly to each pillar, which was really cool. I was able to just jump and right down each of these pillars. So there was a few other pillars I had to climb up to destroy. There's no other way. And luckily, the slow falling coast made it really easy, so I didn't have to pillar up each and every pillar. I was able to just jump from one to one. After destroying all of the pillars, I wanted to use these beds, but I had no clue how to use it, and apparently I did it wrong. I almost used my totem. Luckily, I had it. I almost died. It was very dumb. Apparently, do not use the beds like how I just did. Now there's fire all over the dragon place. I couldn't get through it, and he knocked me around. This was a very close call, but luckily the Ender Dragon did not beat me. I was able to recover. I had to put out all of the fire, and then finally he perched one last time, and I was able to deal the finishing blows to his head. And that was the end of 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. I finally did it. 100 days, and believe it or not, this is the first time I ever beat Minecraft legit, even though I'd been playing since I was 12, so it felt really good. And then I collected all the experience orbs, grabbed the egg, and finally was able to go home. However, grabbing the egg wasn't super easy. I built like a little thing around the portal, because sometimes it can go in the portal. So I built a little pad to make sure the egg didn't land anywhere else. Then I picked up the egg with a torch, and that was the end of hardcore Minecraft. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to drop a subscribe and blow up this video if you want 200 days of hardcore Minecraft. Remember, I still have to go to the outer islands. I have to go visit that woodland mansion and so much more. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.